Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout for Scrapbook Generations design team. I'm using one of the cut files. This is the swirly water waves is what I'm going to call it. It doesn't really have a name. And I'm using this Echo Park collection that I got from the Echo Park website. They had it on sale for $5. So of course I had to buy it. I didn't buy it when it came out because it's more beach related and I'm in Colorado. There's not any beaches here and we don't go to the ocean very often, so I don't have very many photos. But I really love the colors of this collection and it matches my son's shorts in the photo perfectly. So I am going to use it today. I have pulled out a few different thicker sets. I end up only using the black set, which is an older Vicky Booten set. This is the Summer Vibes from Echo Park, like I said. And that was just the cover sheet there. So I'm just throwing that in the recycle bin. But the rest is all papers I'm going to show you that I'm going to be using today. I'm not going to use them all. I will point out the ones I'm going to actually use. I will use the sticker sheet. This one here, I'm not going to use on this layout today, but I will be using it in a future layout. I'm also not going to use all of the photos that I showed. I'm only going to use the photos where he's running through the splash park. This green paper here, I do not use either. That one goes to the side. I'm going to use that with the other photos. This striped one, I'm not going to use either. It has the 2x2 cut aparts on the back side. And then I have this yellow one. This one here I am going to use. And I'm also using a Scrapbook Generations sketch, which I'm not allowed to show. It is paid content. But if you get the sketch, you will definitely recognize which one I'm using. I am pulling one element mainly off of it. So that one is a polka dot. I'm not going to use that one either. This one, I'm going to use this side of it, at least a small strip. And I do change the sketch up to fit the 8.5 by 11, but mainly it's Allison Davis's sketch. It's pretty much inspired by her sketch. This one is the stripe paper, but I'm pointing out a flaw in it. It was printed that way. I don't believe the paper is supposed to look like that, but I think it's still usable, so it's okay. I am going to use that darker, like orange color. And then this one here, the opposite side is waves. I also showed a darker navy blue one. I think I was talking about something else. I'm going to use that one also. So I already have everything cut out, ready to go. Like I said before, I usually do everything off camera and then I'll come back and put it together with you. So this part here is what was inspired by the sketch. And then the other side, the left and the right, is going to kind of be just what I had to do to make it work for me. Also, because my photos are larger than what Allison shows with the sketch. And that's because these are older photos of my older son, and they're already printed as 4x6s. And instead of reprinting them, I decided just to go ahead and use them the way they were. This little piece across the middle is I believe 5 inches or so, a little bit bigger than 5 inches. And then there's a 1/4 inch strip on the left and the right side. And that was just the opposite side of the yellow paper. So then I'm going to place this brighter orange down here at the bottom. That's, it's a little bit smaller. No, it might be an inch. Yeah, it's about an inch at the bottom. It's 3/4 of an inch at the top. And then the top brighter orange piece is 2.5, I believe. Trying to get it off of the mat as it sits still for a second. But yeah, it's about 2.5 inches. And then I have 1/2 inch at the top and the bottom of just white cardstock. So I'm just using white cardstock from my stash to attach the paper down on. This is actually Miss Kate's cardstock, and on one side it's colored and on the other side it's white. So if I need a piece of white cardstock, that's what I go to. So here I have the other photos that I put down. So there's 3 photos there, all in a row. And the photos are not all that great. They're actually just really funny because of the faces my son is making at me as I'm trying to get pictures of him. And he's like, "What? You want me to just stand here and take a picture or what?" Like, It was so funny. Like, I was like, just smile, just play, just run through the, and don't pay attention to me. And he kept like stopping and looking at me, so I would get funny, awkward faces. But I just thought it was cute. So here I'm going to I cut one of my pictures into a circle, and then I'm going to use these wavy, like splashes, is what they're going to look like for me. And I'm going to splatter them up. This is how they are in the sketch. This is how they show you to place them on the layout for the sketch. Of course, I kind of changed it up once again a little bit more, just to fit on my scale of layout, because I'm missing, basically an inch at the top or the bottom, whichever way you want to go. And then I'm also, it's not as wide as 12 by 12 because it's only 8.5. So I need to scale it down a little bit, but I love the way that these little splashes turn out. And I did pop up the top part of the wave, and I popped up the little like splash. So I used the two blues, the darker blue and the lighter blue, and rotated all the way around. So whichever color, if it was lighter blue on the bottom, then I did darker blue for the top splash. And these were kind of difficult to lay down. I kept fighting with them at first. I was like, well, how does it really go? But in the end, I got it to go. I did cut lots of them out in different sizes, and I was just trying to make it look like a splash, or look the best that it could on the layout. So that was how I did it. Was I just played around, and I did play around with white paper first. That's usually what I do. Is if I'm not sure about a cut file, I'll cut it in white first before I cut the pattern paper, just because if you mess up, you only have one sheet of that pattern paper. And that was kind of a good thing, because I did cut it a little bit too big at first. And these ones I just sized down, and then I separated them, and I cut the splashes, the top part of the splash on one paper, and then I cut the bottom parts on another paper, or vice versa. So, because they are mixed and matched. But I really like the way that they turned out, and I love this layout. I like the bright orange. I love orange on summer layouts. And then, of course, his shorts were perfect for it because, they're bright orange, and they have like tropical flowers on them. So I figured that was kind of fitting for the beach theme, even though we are not at a beach. Obviously, we're at a splash pad, and he's just running around. And then up here at the top, I do add these two other smaller waves. And then I'll actually add one more smaller wave right by the photo, over in that kind of yellow empty spot right there. But I don't do that on camera. I actually lose footage here in a minute, right there. I did not realize my camera had shut off. And I went and added splashes over there on the right side with the 3 photos. So there's ones at the bottom and ones at the top. And then I made little clusters to go over there with circles. That was not in the sketch. That is my own little adding in. Again, just something that I added in because I like the way that it looks. But I always use Allison's sketches as a bouncing off point. She always has something that's like, oh wow, I never thought to use that before. Let's try this. And it always inspires something else. So that's why I love using sketches as inspiration. So here I'm just taking some little white, clear, they're not white, they're clear, little crystal drops. And they're going to look like water drops when they're on the layout. And I'm going to glue them down with glue. They will look white in some of the close-ups, I believe, but they're actually clear in real life. And then I added little black dots around the splashes. Also, that was to bring in the black from the word adventure for the title. So the title is Summer Adventure. And then down there at the bottom on the right hand side, it says Good Vibes, Summertime. And then up at the top, it just says Sun and Fun. And I added a little wave and a little tropical flower up there, and a little tropical flower down at the bottom where the Good Vibes is. I also added one over there on Adventure at the A. And I just like the way it looks. Like I said, I like the way that it turned out. And sorry I lost some footage, but I hope you guys enjoyed the layout. I did do some white acrylic paint splatters also all around the layout. And I was trying mainly to get them on the waves in the orange paper. I will add journaling up there at the top. I don't do any of my journaling online. And it will go on the right hand side up there on the top on the orange paper. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Enjoy the close-ups. Be sure to check out Scrapbook Generations for sketches and for cut files. The cut files are amazing. I love that she has included her designs basically as cut files, and now we can copy them even easier. So I really like the way this turned out. See you in the next video. Bye.